Happy Friday, everyone. It's a cold, rainy spring day. I got Bailey girl here living her rough life. We just got hour or so ago finished with the disassembly, completely stripped this frame of Jordan. It's the blue step side that will be completely frame off, obviously. That's the cab for it. If you've watched any of my previous videos, this is a really nice cab. There's just a few holes we've got to fill. Somebody had a visor on it at one time, then it had aftermarket AC, which they drilled a ton of holes. So we'll fill all those up. It will have vintage air in it. American Auto Wire, Dakota Digital, the whole works. Stock looking, but lowered. And then I'll show you what it'll eventually look like here in one of our pictures we put up so we can kind of keep the dream in our head. But really nice frame. Anybody needs a 5-lug square body front suspension cross member, that's complete. It's got the steering on it. There's the gearbox. There's the sway bar. $400 and all loaded up in your vehicle for you, but still has really good brake pads on it. But it looks like somebody's changed the springs at one time. But so what we're going with, which is why this is all off. Typically I wouldn't take the cross member off before getting it powder coated. This is going in Monday to get powder coated, and then we'll start building it back up. But you can see the radiator support there. This is going to be a 5.3 4L60. That'll be built, but he's going with all this QA1 suspension. So you can see there's like 6 boxes. So it'll have a completely different cross member under it, rack and pinion steering, coilovers, and then we're just doing an axle flip in the rear, which is why I had to cut the little brackets off that does that for the axle snub deal, if that makes any sense. Need to figure out my springs. I'm not so sure. I want to run the originals. We might get some springs that don't have as many packs in them, but I'll get with Jordan on that. And then Wilwood discs all the way around, so the rear end will be disassembled, cleaned up. I don't remember if this has got a G80 in it, which if it doesn't, then we'll put some type of Yukon locker in it. I don't even remember what gears are in it. But just a nice, cool driver that will have a lot of money into it. Pretty stock looking, other than the fact that it's going to be dropped. And then I'll show you here. Just to give you an idea. So this is the actual color of his truck, this light blue. It looks a little bit darker in that one. So, but that's a step side, which is what his truck is. This is exactly what his truck is. It's an 85, just a regular old Sierra with a single headlight. So it'll look like that with those wheels on it right there. So that's pretty much the drop it's going to be. Really nice truck as far as no rust, straight. The bed's going to need a little bit of work. Of course, it's wood bed, so we're going to go with a really nice wood bed on that. And that stuff should be going to the body guy here in the next month or so. As we get this ready to come back up, it'll probably be a week at the powder coater, something like that. MTS here in town is doing it for us. But I'll get that out of here and outside, and then we'll start on the rear diff and get it all nice and painted up and the disc brakes put on it and all that good stuff. And here's all this goodies. You can see QA1's got some awesome stuff. There's the control arms. Basically what we've got going on in Gerald's. So if anybody's seen this one, I've got the radiator support on there just because I'm gonna start making this a roller, and I was tired of moving the box around, so I went ahead and just mounted it on there. And I wanted to make sure our frame was good, which I knew it was, but you know what I mean. So I was gonna go together with this and realized that I didn't have a drag link. I thought I had them order it, but I didn't, and so I ordered a drag link, so that should be here hopefully next week. We can get everything connected, get the sway bar on it, and then that engine, both that's a 6.0 and then the 5.3 are going to go to the machine shop here in town, and then we'll get this thing to where it's rolling and moving around. And I had to order some LS motor carriers, some deals, because a regular old GM small block, I have one of those, but they won't work on an LS, I guess. So I ordered 2 of them for the 5.3 and the 6.0, so I can move the engines around and load them up and everything. So, but a lot going on in the shop. I just ordered, let's see, what else we're going to talk about. So this is Danny's truck. Danny Moore's truck, which that's the bed for it. The cab is in storage. So the cab for that is in storage and the bed for this is in storage. These are headed there too, but hopefully Danny's truck is headed to paint sooner than later. Waiting on the paint guy just to tell me, hey, let's go. But so this is a 454, 350, 208. As soon as that mess over there is out of the way, this is going to go here, and I'm going to start building this up. In fact, I literally 10 minutes ago just ordered a red head steering gear for it. I've used the red head steering gear on the Spirit of 76. They're an amazing product. So I ordered one for this truck. Since this has a, I believe, 6-inch suspension, you can get them with no pitman arm, with a regular stock pitman arm, or with a pitman arm that's dropped for a 4 to 6 inch lift, which is what I did. So this already has the tall arm, or the steering arm on it that's raised, and then that way that drop steering pitman arm comes down, makes it nice and straight, not at an angle or anything all weird. This is going to run 35-inch tires. Typically, I mean, he's already got his sway bar and everything put on there with new bushings. That can always be removed later, but typically you wouldn't run a sway bar on anything more than a 4-inch lift. But no harm, no foul. With this big engine in the front, it might be a good idea. Or you start going into crossover steering, which can always be added later. So, but this is going to get moved over here, and we're going to start getting on it pretty soon. New radiator support, so we'll get the front of the engine put on. I need to talk to him because we're going to use original air conditioning, but I might see if he wants to go ahead and use vintage air on this truck. So if we do that, then obviously, since the cab's going to go to paint and body, we can do the firewall work and then go to vintage air, which pretty much everything in here is getting vintage air. Gerald's 72, Jordan's 85, and then probably this one too. So check out this cool poster Terry sent. If anybody recognizes that, that's the C10s in the park in September. That's the Spirit of 76 right there, along with some other badass trucks. But that's Steve and Sally's Spirit of 76. It's on the t-shirts. It's on all the swag. You can go to www.c10sinthepark.com. I don't know if they're available yet, but that's pretty dang cool, isn't it? So, and it looks good lowered. Don't know if Steve will let me lower it, but it looks pretty good lowered. So, and then he's got the stock carburetor. I think this is pretty much stock, but we're either going to rebuild the Quadrajet, which there's nothing wrong with those. Those are great carburetors, or maybe go with like an Edelbrock AVS2. We could probably fuel inject it, but man, you just can't beat a finely tuned carburetor, especially with all the things that fuel injection entails with the learning and stuff. I don't know enough about them, so somebody I'm sure will enlighten me on that. Somebody else has already started on this, but this will be a really, really cool truck. Oh, and to show you, we'll walk back over here. So this is what Danny's truck will look like right there. One of the best two-tone combos GM came out with, except for it'll be a GMC. That's a GMC truck, but you get the picture. So we're not going to go with the bright silver. We'll go with a little bit darker with the red and the black. It was just a great looking truck. Can't wait to start going back together with it once it's, you know, it's going to be in paint and body for a while. But and then this will be Gerald's truck. He's picked out a color that's pretty, it's not black, but it's really, really dark brown. But don't think we'll do any of these wheels. We don't know yet, but basically short bed. I mean, that's pretty much what we're looking at. So just an idea, so you can always keep in mind of what these things are going to look like. But it's going to be exciting to get this back together. Need to get, oh, actually, I didn't order a redhead for this. We got a Borg, what did we get for this thing? Borg Warner steering box for this one. But anytime you get a truck that's lifted, or even like the Spirit of 76 stock, I just go with the redhead steering gears. They're actually not that bad. They charge you a core, $275 for the factory box. And then you get refunded once they get the box back, as long as there's no damage to it, which this one isn't, obviously. And then it was $807 with shipping here to get here, but then I get $275 of that back. So whatever that math is, by the time they add tax and shipping and all that. So, and that comes with a dropped pitman arm on it. So as soon as it gets here and we get it put on, I'll do another video of it, and we'll do more videos of this one in depth. This has had a disc brake conversion in the rear. It has had the rear end welded, he said, so I'm gonna have to take that out and see exactly what that entails. Hopefully it's something that we can unweld instead of putting the whole new differential under it. Just because it turns both. I mean, it doesn't want to turn when you go to turn. It sits there and chatters. So hopefully that's something fairly easy, and then we can start building this up, get it ready to go, because as soon as Norm has the cab ready to go, he's going to want this to set the cab on, fit the front fenders, bed, etc., etc. So that's what we've got going on, among other things. But need to find out about the springs. There's a complete cross member that would work good in your 70 and earlier trucks. These basically will bolt right up, especially something that just has drum brakes. You want to 5-lug something. That 60 to 66 trucks. I know the 60, what is it? 60, 61s have the torsion bar suspension in the front. So it would be, I think you just got to drill a couple holes. I know some guys have done this before, but great way just to, and I know there's a lot of aftermarket stuff out there, but for $400, I mean, you drop yours, you put this in, and you go from there. Sounds like it's starting to rain again. We got an inch of rain last night, but this 84 K20 is for sale. Kansas title, $1,650. If you've made it this far, we appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. You can get a hold of us on our socials, but it's got a big hub, Dana 44 front. These are 410 differentials. And then somebody at one time has also disc brake converted this one. So it does not have a drivetrain, no engine, transfer case, transmission. So if you've got something laying around, just throw it in there. It comes with a steering column. But the cab is not horrible. Excuse me. But somebody has put a 6-inch lift on it. They did it correctly with the steering arm. Just, what is this? Super lift, yeah. And you can see this one does not have the sway bar on it. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of trucks together, but if somebody wants a good cheap truck, they can just throw a drivetrain in and enjoy 1,650 bucks. So, and then we've got some junk sitting over there. Those two frames we've got plans for. And then you can see we've got a big block right there, 400 transmission with a 208. Those things will go together for a project we've got going, that'll be going on. So a lot of things going on. So appreciate everybody. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but thanks for following along. Got some Mecum on. Got the dog here. Just getting some work done, getting some stuff ready to get shiny again and get some trucks built and move on. So appreciate everybody. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We will see you on the next one.